Welcome to another edition of Big Border Battles! I know, it's been a while. But, after the holidays, I have quite a few reports lined up to get out to my adoring fans, all tens of you. But, without further ado, we are going to get in today's battle report, which actually took place a few weeks ago. It is the Undying Dynasties versus Highborne Elves. It's a 5,000 point battle, and it is 1.3 for those of you who are wondering. And without further ado, here we go. Here is how we deployed. Standard battle line setup right there. Actually, no, this was counter thrust. That's right. Counter thrust setup. My list is as follows, and I'm sure most of you guys are familiar with it. 2 groups of 3 vultures, a group of 8 shopties with paired hand weapons, a group of skeletal horsemen, 2 sphinxes, 2 groups of chariots. They're light troop versions. They do have standards though, simply because I like that extra combat res on them. I have a group of 24 Necro Guard with a Harbinger in place, and he is the general. And I also have a Hierophant with a Crown of Scorn. 2 catapults, group of Winged Reapers up there, as you can see. And that is my army. I'm facing some Highborne Elves and some shenanigans here. We have a group of Sword Masters, a group of Sea Guard, a Lion Chariot, a character on a Lion Chariot with a Bluffer's Helm and some other scary stuff. A Reaper Bolt Thrower, it looks like. 2 groups of Knights of Rima. I don't think either of them have the banner, but I'm not 100% on that. 2 groups of those light troop horsemen that they have, and a small group of lancers there. And so I dropped first, I go first, and this is what I do. My Winged Reapers charge his light troops and get them right in the flank there. I reposition some, I spread out a little bit, move up with my Necro Guard a little bit, and just kind of move out with my chariots, hoping to kind of do that little dance there where you kind of guess the charge, well, not guess the charge range, but kind of dare each other for those long charges there. Yeah, I move up my my skeletal archers a little bit, skeletal horse archers, and yeah, not much else happens. There's a better picture of that charge. My 3 Winged Reapers going in for the kill there. They do have the regen on them at this point. I just forgot to move over the little token I put on there. And Catapult goes crazy and smashes into the Sea Guard, killing quite a few of them. They pass their panic check no problem. During combat, I eat this unit, and as you can see, there's my little token of regen. And yeah, it goes to his turn. He charges my Winged Reapers with his Knights. That's not going to go well on the first turn. It's probably going to be a bad juju for me. He does charge in his Horsemen to my Chariots, so I won't get the charge on him. He does make that charge, unfortunately. His Sword Masters come in to the side of my Skeletal Horse Archers there, and I hope he doesn't overrun too far so I can get my Kitty just kind of right into the side there, but we'll see. And yeah, this is how it looks. Here's a better picture of that charge. Here's a better picture of that charge. And here's a better picture of that charge. This goes about as good as can be expected. He just eats those skeletal horse archers and kind of just reforms a little bit. Yeah, this goes poorly. I do kill, I think, 2 or 3, but with crumbles, I'm down to 1 left with 2 wounds, and that's unfortunate there. But they won't have the strength bonus next turn, so that's good. This is a pillow fight. I kill one of his guys. He doesn't do a single wound to me. And we go into top of 2. Now here I make a few mistakes. I do charge him with my chariots. He shot off one of them during his shooting phase. He does have shamanism magic, or not shamanism, druidism, I'm sorry. But it really, I think he gets one spell off the entire game. Just bad roll. He keeps getting his Oaken Throne off. I keep letting it go through and just dispelling everything else. So there is that. I do charge in my Sphinx to help out my Winged Reaper, and hopefully with the Sphinx's help, it can survive to go do dastardly things. I do charge with my Shopti and my Sphinx into his Sea Guard, and he flees from... He stands and shoots at my Shopti and does a couple wounds, I think, and he flees from my Sphinx. So yeah, my vultures run out to position to block his knights and his character from getting into my Sphinx. And that is really it. And I do make a mistake here. I move my Necroguard up, and I should not have done that. I just made his life easier for all those swordsmen to get in and do what they need to do. But I didn't realize how scary really swordsmasters are, so my bad. And here is those failed charges. And here is a successful charge. Also a successful charge, and my kitty is hungry. And yeah, successful charge there. Or actually, the Necroguard charged. I didn't move them forward. I charged into the Sphinx because I wanted to get in this, or not the Sphinx, the bird. I failed the charge is what happened. So I was wanting to get the bird and maybe push forward and get some combat res along with my my 2 chariots, but it just didn't work out. So yeah, during shooting, I shoot off his Queen's Guard unit entirely that was sneaking up the side of the board. I don't know how many of you noticed those. I didn't notice them when narrating this report, so it is what it is. I actually moved my catapult up simply because it has no targets, and I wanted to get out of the way of something. Oh, I wanted to let my archers shoot, and they couldn't really shoot over the medium-sized war machine there, and so I just moved them out of the way, because I don't think it could shoot this turn anyway, and my other catapult just misfired, and so it can't shoot the rest of the game. So there's that. And yeah, here's the pillow fight. Look at them. Aw, nothing at all happens. I think, yeah, I have a banner, but he stays. That went poorly. His Swordsmaster just... I kill a couple, but he just destroys that unit. And this goes kind of poorly. He does a wound to my Sphinx and a wound to my Winged Reaper. I do kill 2. He wins by 1. I ignore it. Or I think it ties combat. Either way, he stays. And bottom of 2. So you can see him positioning his little eagle there. His Swordsmasters charge my Necroguard, and at this point I realized what a mistake it was to even try to charge the eagle. But what can you do, right? And yeah, he just repositions his eagle. He charges my vultures with his character, and there is that. Yeah, let's put a picture of that. Oh, yeah, that's the charge, and this how he eats them. And there's a bit of picture charge there, and this is the result of that combat. As you can see, it did not go well for the home team. Ugh. And this was heartbreaking, to say the least. He goes through, he kills my Winged Reaper, he puts 2 wounds on the kitty. I can't do more than 1 wound to him, and I crumbled to death, and I just sat there and stared for a little bit because I thought for sure my kitty had those things. For sure. But that's what happens when you can't roll good. Best laid plans and all that. Oh, this goes significantly better. The pillow fight ends. I kill 2 of them, but he stays, and I'm stuck, and I can't use my chariots to do what they need to do and go threaten flanks, and frustrating. So here's what happens. I charge a flank with Eagle. My Sphinx goes around, and another mistake, because I'm annoyed right now because my other Sphinx is dead, and I don't know what to do. So I'm like, well, I'm gonna move around. So hopefully, I wasn't thinking is what happened, because obviously he's gonna eat my Necroguard, charge into my archers, and I'm gonna be out of sight and range, and I was just frustrated at this point. What I should have done is charge his character and hoped for the best. My winged vultures do charge his eagle. He fled from my shop tees with that I originally charged. I originally charged the eagle, then I charged the knights with my shop tees because I had the angle, and he was on the hill a little bit. But so they're fleeing, so that's good. So I redirected into the other eagle and just did that. So yeah, is what is. Better picture of that charge. Better picture of that charge. And yeah, so he doesn't do anything to me, but I do a wound to him. And he stays, of course. He doesn't move. I finally win this fight, and so they just kind of reposition to look at what's coming. Yeah, the Swordmasters just eat my Necroguard. It's not even a contest. And on his turn, they charge into my Bowman. And I have to apologize at this point. I miss a few pictures. I think a couple turn pictures pass here where I just forget his chariot and his character and his knights just both charge my Shopti. I do have the regen on them, so I'm not sure how that's going to go, but his lion chariot with the character is just really good. So I'm going to just have to take that. His Source Bastards eat my archers, of course. Luckily, I had the presence of mind to pop my Hierophant out. He does overrun into my catapult, so that's fun. He does a wound to me. I do a wound to him. It's a draw. There we sit. I kill all his knights. He does 9 wounds to me, or 8 wounds to me. He actually, well, he does less than that, but he wins combat is what I'm going for here. And I crumble enough, so that's what it looks like. Now, again, if I was thinking straight, I would have had my kitty ready to charge into that flank for the character and do some damage. But, yeah, instead, this is what it looks like at the top of 4. I'm trying to get my... I'm trying to pull something out of my butt here. I'm getting my... his knights obviously rally. And I position my chariots, go up there to hopefully get into the Swordsmasters as soon as they can, or turn us around somehow. And his knights that survived are slowly creeping up. And of course on his turn, again I missed the picture, but he slams into my side. It's a long charge, but he made it. And at the end of the day, he just entirely destroys the unit. I don't do a single wound to his character. He does destroy the unit of archers. He overruns in that Sphinx, and you can see my Sphinx is still... I'm upset at this point. I'm frustrated at this point. I'm trying to get into combat at this point. I'm making mistake after mistake here. Yeah, I kill like 6 of his Swordsmasters. He deletes my catapult. He deletes one of my chariots. And at this point, we call the game. He won. He tabled me for the most part. I still had a Sphinx just wandering the board. But there was nothing I could do. My Hierophant was dead, and I was crumbling each turn, and just not a good time for the undead. Not a good time. But I enjoyed the game, and this opponent is always a fun one to play. I'm still trying to find an undead list that works. I have found one that works, and in a couple reports you'll see it on the table. It's a weird list. It requires a lot of finesse, but it works. And it works well, and a lot of people aren't used to seeing something like this from Undying Dynasties. I don't want to spoil it, but when you see it, you'll be like, that's a lot of skeletons. And it is a lot of skeletons. So, yeah, that's the game. Closing thoughts. Yeah, his magic did nothing. It was all my misplays and some good rolls by him. And let's be honest, some good plays by him, some good choices. Swordmaster is way more deadly than I thought they would be. You know, and the kitties, you failed me. The one that did get the charge into the knights, he failed me. But I failed you as well in misplacing the second kitty. And I should have just let him come to me and just shot. If that's a lesson I can learn from here, that's the lesson that I think I should take, is just let him come to me more. There's no reason. I think the mission objective was hold the center, and that's fine. But I could make a play for the contest of that, since I had way more scoring units a lot later than I did. I just should have just kind of let him come to me more, and maybe got some good positioning off, but alas. So thanks for watching, guys. That's it for today's big board battle.